Hey everyone, welcome to a very last minute prediction episode for T100 San Francisco. I am here in person, and you know what? I figured I would put my name on the line. I've got to do it like I always do and make my predictions for you. Defend them a little bit of why I think these men and women are going to finish in the top 5. You can still make your picks if you are watching this before the race is kicked off. It closes right as the race starts. So head on the website, make your picks, and be entered in for a chance to win an amazing giveaway thanks to Fuel In. Maybe this will help you out and make you think about your picks a little bit more. But we're going to dive into the course first because I went and checked it out. It is incredible. I think it's my favorite one by far for this whole T100 series. We still got to see the grand final, but I think it's going to be hard to compete with this legendary course. But that swim is even more insane in person. I am so glad I'm not doing it. Props to all the age groupers who are out there doing it. It was so windy and choppy yesterday, and it just looks so far away to Alcatraz. So yeah, these pros are in for it. I think it's really going to favor the strong swimmers. Freezing water. Be interesting to see if they're wearing gloves and booties and what that looks like in T1 if they've got to change out of it. And it'll be interesting to see if they put on some warm clothes as well. They go out for 6 laps on the bike. Aaron Royal said about 10 minutes worth of climbing up on this steep section, and then a little bit of downhill, and then about 5 minutes of climbing coming back. It's about 20-minute laps, 3 minutes of descending only, 7 minutes of flats, and then 10 minutes of climbing. So a climber's course for sure. And then the run is really straightforward, out and back, 4 laps. There is a lot of gravel that they'll be running on, so that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, great opportunity for them to see each other, the athletes on the course as they go back and forth, and it'll make for a spectacular broadcast. And yeah, I think it is just going to be a next level course for these stacked start lists. So diving into the men first, in 5th place, I'm going to go in that order. I've got Sam Long, and I said it in my news episode. I think this is going to be the toughest one for him to do well at, and it was really hard for me picking him there considering his form. But I just think with Cairns coming up next weekend, he might have changed his training a little bit. And with this swim, it's going to be so much harder for him. And then also with the bikers at the front of this field, with it being such cooler weather, they're going to be moving so much faster. And I think it's going to be so hard for him to catch up as quick as he did in Miami and Singapore. So I got Sam Long in 5th place. In 4th place, I've gone with Martin Van Riel. Now, I know a lot of you might be gasping and thinking Martin's going to win this whole thing. We've heard that a lot. Got him there just because he hasn't faced this strong a field yet before. He is focused on the Olympics right now, which he's qualified for. But he did set a 10K personal best, so he's going to be flying on the run. Everybody says he's going to break away on the bike, so keep an eye out for that. And we know how good a swimmer he is. So he'll definitely be in the top 5, no doubt, in my opinion. In 3rd place, then, I've got Kyle Smith. Oh my goodness, what a race he had at the Challenge Champs. His run is finally here, and we've been waiting for that to show up to that next level, and it did show up, running a 109 in Slovakia on a tough run course. Everybody's told me it was insane what he did, so he could definitely win this one. Keep an eye out for Kyle. In 2nd, this really is my dark horse pick, and it's Magnus Ditlev, just because of that accident he had breaking his wrist in Singapore. I don't think he's lost too much fitness from it, but his swim could be a little bit off. That's what I'm worried about. But otherwise, Magnus on this tough bike course, I know it probably doesn't suit him as well. He's probably not as much of a climber. I think there's enough flats for him to really catch up. And we know, and I've seen it firsthand at Challenge Roth, how well he descends on a bike. So keep an eye out for Magnus. I've got him in 2nd. In 1st place, I have to go with him. And this is the fun about making picks, is you can do what you want. And I'm going with Alistair Brownlee. We saw how well he was doing in Singapore, but that ankle betrayed him again with his dismounting error. But yeah, I really think Alistair could do well here. I saw him last night at a get-together. He looked confident, relaxed as ever. And yeah, I've got him for number 1. I think finally he'll put it together. I think he'll break away with a couple athletes. And that's how I think he's going to do it and hold on during the run. So keep an eye out for guys like Mika Newt. He could win this thing. Matisse Marjorie is going to be at the front all day. I just don't think his run's there. Frederick Funk was flying on the bike next to Kyle Smith, so he's going to be brilliant to watch here on this bike course. I can't not mention Javier Gomez. He is such a dark horse, the number one for all of us, because we haven't seen him race in such a long time against this high caliber field. He did race last weekend and won. And people who were there told me it was an insane performance with a 1:10 half marathon or challenge. So keep an eye out for Javier, of course. And then I've got to say, Ben Canoe, four-time champion here. He knows this course like the back of his hand. He knows that swim. A lot of guys are going to be trying to follow him on this swim. Yeah, really hope he gets a good result here. But let's move on to the women then, because this one's also so good, but a little bit more straightforward, I think, than the men's race. Only 18 women you can see here starting because 3 have pulled out. Jeannie Metzer pulled out, Chelsea Sodaro, unfortunately, and Annie Haug. So we won't get to see the battle between Ashley and Taylor and her. We'll have to wait again, probably till London. Actually, we won't because Taylor will be racing in the Olympics, of course. But yeah, we still got a stacked start list, and we have the likes of Kat Matthews joining us, who is my 5th position pick here. I just think that travel from Hamburg, as epic as it was that she's done this, I just think that'll affect her a little bit. Also, she rode that majority of that Ironman Hamburg bike course, so that is going to be a little bit in her legs, plus all that travel. I think she could finish higher than this, but it's a lot of good women ahead of her. That's why I've got her in 5th, which means I got Paula Findlay in 4th place. I think she could do better than that. I think she could podium here. I saw her out training. Looked like she was flying on the run. But yeah, just a little bit behind the next 3 athletes, in my opinion. India Lee in 3rd after her result at Challenge Championships just showed again that she really is in some serious form this year. Her run is clicking like Kyle. I think her and Paula will be together for a lot of this race. I'm really excited to watch that battle. And then Ashley Gentle gets 2nd place for me just because Taylor Knibb will be in 1st. I think the reason for that is Taylor is just by far the best swimmer here. And in these tough conditions, that'll favor her even more. I think she will take her time in transition, so she might lose a lot of that gap that she's gotten before. But she'll probably put on warm clothes, is my guess, head out onto the bike, and then that's where she'll get her gap that will leave her enough time, even though Ashley will be catching her on the run, to take the victory. So I think it'll be a couple minutes. It'll be close, but Taylor will still get the win here. I just got to say, though, for the women, this run battle is going to be epic. And I wish Anne was here for it, too, because we've got Emma Pallant-Brown here. We've got Laura Phillip making her debut. Grace Stack is a phenomenal runner. She was 4th in Oceanside. She got a little bit of a niggle, so she didn't race the last race, but keep an eye out for her. Imogen Simmons, she's just brilliant all around. She's going to be challenging for one of these spots. Absolutely. Amelia Watkinson ran like no other in Singapore in the heat. So stoked to see her run again. And then, of course, Tamara Jewett, who is due a good performance. It's cold weather, which she loves, from Canada. And yeah, I think we could see her finally regaining some of that form that we've seen before. So those are my picks for the men and the women. That's the course. I will get as much footage and video as I can of it tomorrow. Hopefully some interviews as well. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know down below who you've got.